You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is After Review. I'm your host, Peter, and joining me this week is my man, Matt. What's up, Matt?
What's up, Pete? How's it going, brother?
It's going, it's a tough time. So, it's some good, some bad, little
ugly.
Yeah, all over the place. Football.
Right.
You and I are having a tough time in the NFL right now, but our Aggies, we can give some love to our Aggies, are number 7 in the country.
I was just about to say, man, hey, it seems like the walls are falling in on us for our NFL teams, but yeah, we got the Aggies. They're 3-1, right? So they're
3-1.
3-1, and if you look at analytics, like analytically, we're favored to win
every game.
The rest of our games,
everything's in front of us. You run the table with one loss to Bama. You got a good argument to get in.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Isaiah Spiller looks like a star. Anaya Smith, it's a good little thunder and lightning.
We always have good running backs. That's the only thing I like is we're always got good backs coming out of there. They don't do anything in the NFL, but they're great college backs.
Yeah, I think the good thing that I've seen is if you kind of take the game out of Kellen's hands and kind of let him manage the game instead of having to win the game for you, it seems to be like a winning formula. I know he kind of won it for us in Florida, but I mean, if you can run for 150, 200 yards,
make it easy
for 150, 200 yards. Yeah, it makes it easy for him.
It'd be nice if, old unemployed ass Courtney Davis didn't leave early just for $100,000 check. And then Osmond, who knows what the hell was going on with him? He had to leave. So it'd be nice. Imagine if we had Courtney Davis at least, our best receiver still.
Do you think Osmond's kind of rethinking?
I don't know.
Or?
They said the inside sources from Terrell said there was a lot of other stuff going on with him. I don't know. Someone, guys, you know how it be. But I guess we can get into the NFL. Oh, God. Are you ready to blow up the Mike McCarthy era already in Dallas?
Man, especially I think I saw a quote today from, obviously an anonymous player, but he said that he's never been more underprepared or never seen a more underprepared coaching staff.
I heard that too. That's so bad.
And that's bad to hear, especially what are we in? What are they, 2-4? The 6 games in, and you're already hearing that kind of talk, and obviously losing and then losing badly every game, that will bring it out of any player, right? It's very frustrating.
And then did you hear Mike McCarthy after the game? He said, "I thought we were really prepared. I thought this was the most prepared we were this week." He said that after they lost, and then that quote came out today from the locker. It was like, "I felt like we were the most underprepared team I've ever seen."
I just don't understand how I don't think he gets how tone deaf that sounds. Like, you think, like, coming off as a fan, being a lifetime Cowboys fan, like, that's so, like, when you say that, that tells me that's the best you have. You know what I mean? That's the best you have to offer me. That's embarrassing.
I saw that was the 6th worst game of the NFL this season a team played, and it was the other games in front of him was 2 games by the Browns, of course, a game by the Broncos, 1 game by the Jets, and then a game by the Dolphins, I think it said. So, yeah, all 5 other Jets games were better than that Cowboy game except for 1.
Dude, it's so embarrassing because maybe the media overhyped the roster, but obviously the offensive talent is there, right? I mean, that's not disputable, I don't think, right?
It's there. The whole line is super banged up.
The offensive line is horrible.
Yeah, so banged up.
I just kind of think Tyron Smith is probably going to hang it up after the season. I don't blame him. He gets hurt all the time, and he's a huge man, and he's going to have to live with that the rest of his life. So I wouldn't blame him for retiring. It just really hurts to see Zach Martin. Obviously, I think he's going to be a no doubt Hall of Famer. See him go down, and then you got Brandon Knight and Steele or whatever it is. I don't even know anyone.
It's Connor Williams. Oh, elite right there.
Yeah. Connor Williams is out there, I guess, and he
touches.
He doesn't have much going on.
He touches people sometimes.
Yeah,
and then Zeke is getting paid too damn much to fumble the freaking ball.
Yeah, and then he comes out and says that's on me. You're like, well, no shit, it's on you.
Did you see?
That's a 14-point swing.
I saw this. Zeke is getting paid $90 million by the Cowboys. Do you know how much Derrick Henry got paid by the Titans? $50.
It was like, it was like 50, right?
So
and he's running 200 yards a game.
And Derrick Henry has looked unstoppable this year, like a manimal.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do in Dallas. The defense is trash too.
And I keep hearing, I forgot someone. Well, I saw, and actually I did see that stat. They were talking about Mike Nolan. That in 2005, only I think they've given up so many different whatever these stats were.
It was like
the worst ever, and it was him in 2005.
Yeah, it was like the worst since that, and him in San Francisco. I did see that, and I laughed. I was like, "Oh,
dude,
it's so." But it's not just that though. The talent on defenses, you overpaid DeMarcus Lawrence clearly
100%.
Overpaid Jalen.
You paid Jalen.
You paid Jalen Smith early because he doesn't have it. He looks.
Vander Esch can't stay on the field.
Vander Esch, a typical white linebacker for the Cowboys, can't stay on the field. Always hurt. And then it's just again they were in cover 3 when they gave up that 80-yard bomb to Christian Kirk. That should never happen. They had 3 deep safeties.
And I don't care. I don't care that we have all these injuries. I don't care. Like, you don't give up. Like, to me, that's just like common sense. You're in the NFL. Be a football player. Like, be smart. Just you're cover 3. Don't let someone split the gap between 3 safeties. Like,
and just run.
That's not acceptable.
Right by all y'all. Like,
it's just not acceptable. And I'm frankly disgusted watching them. Like, I was so uninterested last night. As soon as we went down, 14-3, I looked at Bishop and I was like, dude, like, I just don't care. Like, it's just...
Well, welcome to the Losers Club. Hey, Dak's gonna get franchised too. I saw this. Matt Ryan's on the trading block apparently. You try and trade for Matt Ryan, maybe? I don't know if that fixes anything.
Man, I've seen a lot of people. I think Matt Ryan is shot, dude.
Really?
He looks a lot like. I think his arm's a lot like Dalton's right now. Just not there.
He putting up numbers left and right in Atlanta. I'll tell you what, they look good against Minnesota this weekend. Could do no wrong.
Yeah. To be fair, he is throwing to Julio Jones, So
I liked Cleveland too as a spot for Matt Ryan. We're going off on this now. How about that? Because Baker, my man Baker, it's only taken me a little while to get right on him, but I'm so right on Baker. I've been so right on Baker Mayfield from day one. He's just not a guy. He lacks so much. I don't know. He looks small. He looks frustrated. He can't even throw a 5-yard pass when he. Yes, and he has like any sort of pressure. He can't throw a 5-yard pass.
Yeah, I think his strength coming out of Oklahoma was accuracy, right? Like that's
yes,
what everyone was
and
saying.
He's so inaccurate in the NFL.
Yeah, and then he thinks he can outrun NFL players. Like, you're not in the Big 12, dude. Like, you're not. These are NFL defensive linemen. They're faster than you. They're bigger than you. They're stronger than you. You're not getting away from them. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's not happening.
There's no chance.
It's ridiculous. And he doesn't have the arm strength to roll out right and just fling it 40 yards. Like, he doesn't. Like, you don't see Tom Brady doing that, right? He's never been able to do that, and he knows that.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying like Baker Mayfield's Tom Brady.
No, but Baker, I said, and the Browns were doing good. I was like, the Browns Baker plays within himself. He throws the ball 27 times a game behind a great rushing defense off the play action. He can be very successful. You can't run the ball on Pittsburgh. To be fair, Pittsburgh is absolutely insane up front. But he's looked horrible against 2 physical teams. Like, he was atrocious against Baltimore week 1 also. So, what are you?
And then someone made a good point about, I'm sure it was John Middlecoff. They were talking about how it's kind of an indictment. I think it may have been Cowherd, actually. How that it seems like all the big passes have been by wide receivers.
That's true.
All the downfield. Yeah. It's Jarvis Landry throwing to OBJ. It's OBJ throwing to Jarvis.
Yeah.
It's almost like Kevin Stefanski's like, I don't want the ball in your hands. I don't want you to throw an interception.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's not a good look, right? So
no, and it's not his quarterback. You didn't spend a number 1 pick. He didn't spend a number 1 pick on him, so he has no problem. Yeah. I don't think they're going to pick up his 5th-year option 100%.
Me either. I wouldn't.
I mean,
you got too much talent. You sticking
Kirk Cousins.
Dalton yesterday before I saw that.
Yeah, true. Sticking Kirk Cousins. Their offensive line is slightly better than Minnesota's. They won 10 games running that system last year under Stefanski. So do that.
The team is way too talented to be beaten that badly.
Yes, run off the boat raced off the field by the 2 teams in front of you in the division is not a good look at all.
Not a good look. Nope.
I gotta take that. I know And then we could talk about the other one, Sam Darnold, because everyone's like, oh, it's over now in the New York. You got to draft Trevor Lawrence. You're going to keep Adam Gase so you can lose all 16 games. And then you have to trade or draft Trevor Lawrence just to start over. Someone's getting a steal out of Sam Darnold, I think, still.
Yeah, someone was saying the Steelers might be a good look for a backup until Big Ben is done, or a lot of people say San Francisco. I don't think Shanahan's going to deal out a first-round pick for him.
I don't know.
I think Joe Douglas, he didn't hire Adam Gase. He's going to let Adam Gase lose all the games for him. Then he's going to deal out Sam Darnold, fire Adam Gase, get a haul. I mean, he's going to have a lot of first-round picks. It's got a lot of look like the Dolphins, a couple years ago. And so,
here's my question. Do you have to start over? Because what if someone's willing to pay you 3 1s and 3 2s for that Trevor Lawrence pick?
Like, do you keep Darnold?
Yes.
And just take the picks
and just take all those picks? That's a lot of picks.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe you look at it, but then do you pass up a generational talent like
but
that?
The problem is, what do you have around him? They have 0 weapons. They wasted all their money on Le'Veon Bell. I mean, Mekhi Becton looks like they hit on a decent offensive lineman at least. He's graded well every week on PFF. It is a train wreck because it is the Jets, and they will lose all 16 games. I don't think they're going to come close to anything. But, I mean, Cowherd even said the Jets have not won a game since they've drafted Sam Darnold that Sam Darnold didn't play in. That's got to say something to the rest of the team that you put around them, because you see backups win games in the NFL enough with teams. So
you can if you gave me $1 million and 3 opportunities to guess, I could guess any wide receivers on that team.
You could probably get Jameson Crowder.
Yeah, is Robbie Anderson still there?
No, he's on the Carolina Panthers. He's on the Panthers.
Okay.
So
okay, yeah, that was going to be my guess.
The Jets. So the Jets have maybe an offensive lineman, a quarterback that's good that they're going to have to deal, but he can't develop. And they got
Frank Gore.
Hey man, he's only 102 years young. It's a young man.
Jeez.
And they got Brandon Mann. They got the best punter in the league right there.
That's true.
Just an elite player. So poor Jets. So you're gonna like this one. I was looking at the standings. The Jets are obviously the worst team in the league. Do you know who currently holds the second pick?
Giants?
No, that would be my Minnesota Vikings.
Really?
Yikes.
1-5?
We are 1-5 and in last place in the NFC.
Oh my God. Is it because of point differential?
I don't know what the hell the standings are. Oh, maybe the strength of victory because our only wins against a 1-5 Texans team. Hey, and then before that, we had only lost to the Colts. Before Atlanta this week, we had lost to the Colts and 3 undefeated teams. So it was like, maybe we're not that bad, but then you lost to you got boat raced by the 0-5 Falcons at home. Time to start over.
You think Zimmer's done?
You have to fire him. He's trash. You have to fire the GM too. The GM built this dog shit team with these bad contracts. I mean, we have the best wide receiver duo in the NFL, arguably behind maybe Julio and Calvin Ridley. Jefferson and Thielen, I think, are 1-3 on Pro Football Focus this year. Dalvin Cook's the best back in the NFL. Madison's pretty solid as his backup. I mean, decent, good tight ends. You have no O-line and a quarterback that can't throw if he's not perfectly protected. It's bad.
Yeah.
Blow it up. I saw a thing today, like some veteran players want to get traded. Already, it's like, Jesus Christ. What are we going to do? Draft Trey Lance, I guess, out of North Dakota State? Woohoo!
Yeah. I mean, would you rather Trey Lance or Justin Fields?
They're not going to take Justin Fields. They take Trey Lance over Justin Fields. It's Minnesota. That's how it's going to be.
Who would you rather have?
I don't know. I haven't watched Justin Fields yet, and I've watched like none of Trey Lance. But a guy who goes an entire season not throwing a pick in college is pretty impressive. He threw a pick in that other game. I like that he could move. He's obviously pretty mobile.
Yeah, and I think that's just where the NFL is going. So
I need that. And then if he's and people are saying he's better than Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz, I know there's some slander on Carson Wentz. He is dragging that corpse of a team the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
because
he's so up and down, man.
Dude, it doesn't. I don't think it helps that the team around him is terrible at wide receiver. Zach Ertz is hurt
Yeah.
again. What else is new? They've looked better since they've gotten Miles Sanders back because he was banged up a little bit, and they've been able to run the ball
I
decently.
think he's out though.
He is out this week against the Giants because of the short week on Thursday. But, I mean, Jesus.
Wonderful.
He dragged that corpse of a team and was a 2-point away from tying the Ravens when they looked like they were
Yeah.
dead. And, again, oh, my God. Did you see that play they ran for 2? They ran
I did not.
a read option. It was horrible. They just ran,
the Eagles did
Yes, Eagles ran slow read option to go for 2.
no pass
And
on it.
no pass, just read option, and the end crashed hard on the running back. So Carson Wentz had to pull that thing last minute, and they had like a linebacker spying him, just sitting right next to him at the end of the line, so you couldn't go anywhere. It's just terrible.
Like, please run it.
Just throw.
Just a bad play call.
Just throw. Yeah. What's Doug doing over there? But again, I mean, that's a corpse of a division. So hey, if they beat the Giants on Thursday, they're in first place.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's. Jeez. That's crazy.
This might be the move that the NFL needs with how bad the NFC East is this year to finally get rid of winning a division gets you a home playoff game.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking. I tweeted it last night. I said, if you were the NFC, did you see what?
No, I didn't see this.
I tweeted. I said, if whoever wins the NFC East, whether it be 6-10, 7-9, and I might be being generous even saying that. Would you dare hang a banner for that?
Hey, we did it.
I would be embarrassed to put NFC East champ, I guess the 2020 season.
Yeah.
2020 season. Or 2020 or 2021. You couldn't pay me to hang that in my stadium.
Hey,
we personally.
We were 6-9-1, the Eagles, and we won the NFC East.
We didn't, dude. It's embarrassing, and it seems like it's every other year. Or every year, everyone's terrible. And it's like, how? Like, I don't know.
Well, you got football team. God knows what the hell's going on with football team over there. I mean, Ron Rivera, he's got no nonsense attitude. Maybe they'll find a new quarterback. The Giants are just bad, and then the Cowboys underperform every year, it feels like. And so that it's the corpse of an Eagles team. It's Carson Wentz throwing to you, me, and the guy from the YMCA versus the Cowboys. Who's going to win?
Real quick on the Cowboys again. If you fire Mike McCarthy this year, which I don't know if they will, but if they did, do you throw all your chips on the table on Lincoln Riley, or do you try to get the enemy from the Chiefs? Like, what do you do?
I want Jerry to step down.
You think and just let Steven?
I would almost demand Jerry's got to go because this is a Jerry hire. As Colin says, he doesn't want a coach that pushes him and for control. And you see what you get when you have coaches that are just like, "Hey, I'm not going to fight you." Not good coaches. I think the Jets are going to go for Lincoln Riley with Trevor Lawrence. By the way, on that, I think so. I think that's going to be the move. Why wouldn't you take that if you're Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, I mean, just what's around him, like you said earlier.
Yeah, but you get Trevor Lawrence, and you probably get all control of that team. If you get him out of Oklahoma. What's around Oklahoma? I mean, maybe Spencer Rattler is going to be a guy at Oklahoma. I don't know.
I know he's just a kid, but that kid's a freaking douchebag. I know he's a kid, but have you seen his Elite 11 tape?
Yes.
Speaking of him?
Yes.
You saw that video I'm talking about?
Yes, I think so.
I was like, no wonder he was talking to that Michigan quarterback. He's like, that's why you're soft or something. You're just soft. And it's like, no, you're just a prick, dude.
He's I think it might be a generational thing, though. The kids these days. Yeah. I mean, you saw it with I think me and Terrell talked about it last week. Like the damn DBs after every play always got to get up and talk to a guy, or a wide receiver's always got to get in somebody's face and talk shit after a play. It's like, just play. Just play.
Because I feel like even 10 years ago, you'd scrap if someone said that to you.
That's true. You were throwing down.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I don't know. I'm only 25. It's just it feels like back in the day that was you don't talk like that.
We're throwing hands that's not happening right now in high school, especially. We're throwing hands.
Yeah, and I'm not a fighter or anything. It's just it's just mutual respect at that point, right?
You got to back yourself.
Cross the line.
You got to have some sort of backbone for yourself. Jeez. I don't like him either. I know some people are a little bit higher on him but oh man, he had a nice big win against Texas.
Talent's there. I mean, he's clearly a talented player. I just think he's
Told you
kind of a dope.
he's the off-brand version of Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
He's like he's the cheap, shitty Chinese version you get that doesn't.
He's the alter ego. He's just.
This is bad. We're going in on like a 19-year-old kid hard.
Yeah. Yeah, geez. Like I have there's a couple OU grads that I work with, and they're shitting on him too. And so I don't know, man. He might be on a short leash. It's not like he's playing at North Texas or something. Like
Lincoln Riley
can get replaced.
Will find a quarterback to transfer to play for him.
Yeah,
that's exactly
that, or just whoever his backup is. I'm sure, like he doesn't mind.
I don't know. I thought they were kind of all in on him as their guy. I don't know if they recruited anybody else.
Yeah, I mean that's the knock. I think some other schools get like Jimbo recruits a quarterback every year, but maybe that's why you recruit a quarterback every year. That's
right. Somebody we're eventually going to find that guy.
Yep.
I know Terrell's the biggest man who gets on that. It's like that's why all these quarterback transfer. I'm like they transfer anyway.
Yeah. Can we talk about? I know we're bouncing around a lot, but can we talk about Tom Herman's just comments on anything? Like, what did he say a couple days ago? First of all, the way he talked about Gary Patterson. Do you remember that?
Yes. He does nothing for TCU. He is 1-3 against Gary Patterson. He said,
"Okay, I found it." Go ahead, keep going.
No, this man talked the shit. Like, yeah, Gary Patterson doesn't really do much for TCU up there. First of all, TCU has consistently one of the better defenses in the Big 12. That
Absolutely.
is like a feasible defense, and the Big 12 plays zero defense to begin with.
And they put dudes in the league, too.
And you're gonna talk this shit when you out-recruit him every year by a lot, and you're 1-3 against this man.
And it's just, and I know I'm gonna sound biased because I went to A&M. It's just, but I respect the hell out of Gary Patterson. I respect the hell out of Lincoln Riley. I respect the hell out of Matt Campbell over at Texas Tech. And pretty much any Texas coach, like here in the state of Texas, I respect the coaches. It feels like Tom Herman, he just can't get out of his own way. He has to have the last word.
I told you that was my biggest knock of him. I've been saying it for years. He thinks he's a Mensa guy, so that's like for those that don't know, like smart person club. He thinks he's smarter than everybody, and he's not, especially when it comes to coaching football. He made fun of 20-year-old Drew Lock's touchdown celebration.
And he's like a 42-year-old man at that time.
Yeah, rubbing his chest like, ooh.
Yeah, it's just like it's cool. Like it's funny if your GA does that. You're getting paid. I don't know what he's getting paid. $6 million a year, probably.
Something like that.
You're getting paid $6 million a year. Grow up, dude.
Yeah,
time to grow up. You're not a GA. You're not a coordinator. You're not a DB coach. Like, what are you doing out there, buddy?
And he's the one
you look like a fool.
And he snitched on Urban Meyer too.
Yeah, so he's just a turd. And I found what he was talking about. His latest quote. He said he's got grad assistants and secretaries. Quote: "We've got grad assistants, secretaries, and student assistants scouring the Baylor media sites, especially their message boards and fan boards." What?
Do you need some posts? Like, you should maybe be focused on the game, boy.
And then it goes on, quote, "If they're anything like ours, if a guy sprains an ankle in practice, the sky is falling. So you've got to disseminate what's real and what's not real. We're trying to figure out who we're going to play, who are the players are going to be." What?
Like
you're telling me you're going to get your info from message boards on who's hurt and who's not?
You can't. There's no scouting over there. Like, are you that worried about who's going to play and who's not going to play? I mean, how about you?
I didn't know Dave Aranda was the coach for Baylor. Anyways,
you should just prepare for what they do and then be pleasantly surprised if someone good doesn't play. It's that simple. I don't think Baylor's going to drastically change. They're not all of a sudden going to go from a freaking spread offense to goddamn wishbone over here because of their personnel. They run the same offense. Prepare for it.
Yeah, and isn't it kind of almost like little just desserts for it? Just chef's kiss. I think what did that reporter ask Sam Ellinger after the game? Like, is this like the kind of performance that Longhorn Nation should expect? And he didn't have an answer for like 25 seconds. Have you seen that?
No, he was. Was it after the OU game? Was it after the OU game? He also he got in a lot of shit for not singing "The Eyes of Texas" with the rest of the team. Also, They're like,
Tom Herman?
No, Sam Ellinger. He's like, can't be doing that as a quarterback. Can't be by yourself when your teammates are together singing it. That I think everybody's kind of fed up with Tom Herman's little shtick he's got going there too. I mean, just like remember the P chart that he had? Oh, you're a bad guy. If you're not peeing clear, you're a bad guy.
Yeah, you're a bad teammate or something like that. Yeah, and what is he 1-4 versus Lincoln?
Yeah, he beat OU once and then lost in the Big 12 title game against them.
That's what it was.
That wouldn't have met, like, if you lose the first game and then beat them in the second game, you're going to the playoff.
Hey, here's another good quote for you. This was yesterday, I believe, the 19th. It was, quote, Tom Herman. I think the general pulse of the team is that we're in the goodest places we've ever been right now as a team. You're 2-2.
Yeah, 2-2 against bad teams too, and you should be 1-3. Tech threw away that game against you. You should be 1-3 against bad teams. So, ooh man, you're really showing us, Tom. Lighten it up down there. We're a lot of Tom Herman blasphemy.
Dude, he freaking needs it, man. Like I'm my coworkers at work they agree with me, and they went to Texas, so it's not like it's undeserved or anything.
So,
and not to mention, a lot of those boosters, really at any big school, OU, A&M, Texas, LSU, once you start losing big time recruits, I think that's when it's kind of over for you. I know Billy Bowman, and the only reason I know this is because he went to my high school. He's been committed to Texas, I believe, since he was a sophomore. His dad went to Texas, I believe, and he decommitted like 2 weeks ago, and he was in Norman the next week. Might go to Oklahoma. And so I think when you start losing 5-star recruits, or I don't know if he's
you're
5-star,
done.
but
You're done.
You're done. Yeah, and so I think he's just kind of on his last straw. And if he goes, I don't know,
what
he's definitely going to lose to Oklahoma State.
Yes, definitely. And again, I don't understand. Everyone talks about, oh, Texas is still Texas. Like, we're Texas. Kids don't remember that. Kids were not alive for Vince Young. They're getting recruited right now.
Yeah. I was 10 years old. I don't remember that.
Yes,
I was 10 years old when they won the national championship.
They've been bad for over a decade now. I mean, probably 10, 12 years. And we're not talking just like bad. Because remember, we were getting flack from Texas fans when we were talking about A&M. It's like A&M's worst we ever did was 7-6. Texas wasn't making bowl games in consecutive seasons in the Big 12. Like this is not comparable. These two things are not comparable. Right. So why do people think that, oh, Texas is back? Like, oh, it's still Texas. They're gonna start losing people just on name alone. They're not gonna know They're not gonna know a good Texas ever.
It's and it's kind of going into the territory of, I think Cowherd. When Joel Klatt was on there, and Joel Klatt's
Big 12 apologist. He's a Big 12 apologist,
and that's which is fine.
Hey,
but
quick note on Klatt. Hold on, real quick. Quick note on Klatt. He did have us ranked number 8, but going into the game before Mississippi State, he said we were underrated.
Yeah,
so I like that.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. He said something nice about us.
I love it.
He was on with Cowherd, and it's kind of the same thing. And I tweeted about this. It's like Notre Dame, Miami, and USC. Everyone's like, football's better when they're good. I disagree. Like, first of all, I wasn't watching football. I was like a child when Miami was last good, right? Like 2002 or something like that. USC hasn't been good since 2005 or 6.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame is consistently overranked, right? And so, it's the coastal media bias that, oh, Miami's back, and then they get thrashed by Clemson, like everyone thought, like any football fan would know,
Yeah, I don't know how serious people were taking that Miami team. I guess because King looks good, he's putting up good numbers, but
I felt like I was like reading stuff, like seeing like, I think Cowherd, maybe he was joking, he thought Miami was back, and Klatt was just like, I think he said the same thing, is like they haven't been good in 20 years. And so I don't know. I think Texas is getting close to that. Like, yeah, cool. You won the Sugar Bowl 3 years ago.
Yeah, against the Georgia team that had like 5 defensive starters not play.
And so, yeah. I don't know, man. College football, I think it's as interesting as it's ever been. So
it is. But is it? Is it? Because it really feels like it's a 2-team race at the top.
Clemson and Bama.
Yeah.
Clemson, Bama, and then kind of Ohio State.
We still have yet to see Ohio State play, so maybe Ohio State. But, I mean, Georgia was 3, and Alabama totally dominated that Georgia game, it felt like.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for sure. Do you want to talk about MLB real quick?
Yeah, we can talk about the World Series. World Series going on. What do we got? Let's check. Dodgers up 2-0 right now on the Rays in the World Series. I do want to talk about this. You were at the NLCS, my friend.
I was at the NLCS. My boss kind of surprised us, us and the whole company. I say company, there's like 18 of us. He just said, "Hey, do y'all have any plans?" He asked everybody, like, "No," and he goes, "Hey, well, I'm gonna." First of all, this is how much I haven't been paying attention to baseball. I didn't know how they were having people at the games.
Yeah, just in Texas.
And he said, "Well, I got the box at the NLCS to go watch Kershaw pitch." And everyone's going crazy. Like, I'm super excited. I haven't been to Globe Life Field yet. And as much hate as it gets on the outside, that is a beautiful stadium on the inside. It's gorgeous. We sat in the second deck, right field line suite. They had leather seats or leather couches as seats.
Ooh.
It was a party suite. I think 22 of us went. I bet it could fit 80 if you wanted to push it. It was really awesome. I had my first sports bet, I'll be honest.
Oh.
Won. I bet the over on the runs.
Oh.
Thought I was being a little crazy. It was 8.5. Got 10.
And that was after the Dodgers.
Yeah.
After the Dodgers had that monster game 3. Oh no, what game did you go to? Game 3?
Games 5.
5. Okay, so that was after the Dodgers had been going off.
Yeah, so it was 8.5, and so I think they scored 7. The Braves scored 7 in the 6th or something like that. And then I got to watch Kershaw pitch. Our boss went to high school with Kershaw. I don't think they're like homies or anything, but we got to see him. Kershaw's a bigger guy than I thought he was.
Oh yeah,
I
he's
guess.
huge.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", I
yep,
guess.
big
He's
guy. Best commit A&M never got.
Oh yeah, I always forget about that. So yeah, it was great. Obviously it was really interesting to see an NLCS game with nobody there.
It's like, yeah, what was like? So everyone was kind of spaced out, right? There was just like sections of seats.
Yeah, a lot of Dodger fans, which that's not surprising. I think they have a huge following. But I will say Atlanta was really representing. We went to Texas Live before the game. I saw a lot of Atlanta Braves fans.
What was the
Dodger fans?
What was the crowd noise like? Was there decent cheering and stuff?
Oh yeah. There was good cheering. It's just weird.
Yeah,
it would be sold out.
Yes, it's packed.
Yeah, and so I mean, it was really cool. Like I'm super. I'll definitely go to. The Rangers are going to suck for a while, but next year I'll go watch the Rangers play in that stadium 100%. And if we ever go to the playoffs, I'm sure it'll be popping in there. It would be really cool to see 40,000 people in there cheering. But obviously we're in difficult times right now, so we can't. But man, it was super fun. Really expensive in there.
Yeah.
Jerseys were like $180, of course, or something like that.
They got to make up. They got to make up some of that moolah.
Yeah. The hate on the outside is a little deserved. I will say that.
It looks like a freaking
barn.
Yeah, like a
barn or something.
Not even like a storage shed or something, like a steel storage shed. It's not pretty.
They opened the roof, so that was awesome. A lot of people were saying they weren't going to. They did, and it was insane. It was super cool.
I thought they had to.
I'm just glad.
I thought they had to.
And I'm glad the Rangers finally built an indoor stadium. I'll go to way more games.
Yes, I will possibly consider going to a Rangers game after July 1st now.
Yeah, it's so, and I think that's a lot more attractive to just go on a little baseball talk here. I think it's a lot more attractive to free agents. And
it'll make the Rangers a lot better, too. The team maybe won't freaking fall apart in those late months and those dog days when it definitely impacts the team, clearly.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think just going a little Rangers talk here, I think you have to get rid of John Daniels, I think. I know he went all in on the World Series back in 2010, 2011, 2012, whatever it was. And it felt like he gave away the entire farm system.
And he still gave away the farm system after that.
Yeah, and then to not win anything, and it's just kind of like it's gonna be like kind of like that. As much as I hate to say it, you got to be like the Astros, and just it's gonna be a process.
You got to use trash cans to win baseball games.
Oh yeah. No, I think they built their farm system really well.
Yeah, they did, and I know the cupboard is bare.
Yeah.
Scott knows these things, and he said they got nothing.
Yeah, and so maybe it's a good thing that I don't know. It was super just desserts. We were tweeting about that the
dude.
Astros.
Oh my God, I can't believe the Rays even blew that 3-0. They were in the process of blowing that 3-0 lead because it was like, oh.
Do you think that makes it better that they?
It was so much more sweet, but no, because then the Astro fans' logic could like, man, look how close we were. We didn't even have, we had all these young guys. You saw that tweet. I saw you.
Yeah.
And then I hit him with that, like, the Astros were 29-31, dude. They wouldn't have made the playoffs without the expanded format. And then even in the expanded format, they didn't have to play the 1 seed until the ALCS when they had the worst record in the American League to get in. Like, it made no sense. Yeah. They should have played the Rays in that first wild card round, and they would have been done in 2 games.
Yeah, dude. I don't have any qualms about it. I dislike that. It's more the fans for me. I think it's not even the team. Well, it is the team now too because they cheated.
Yes, because they cheated, and then they were smug about it.
Yeah, and then it's just like Correa just being a tool, and unfortunately, I actually liked Altuve, and it sucks that now that you're a cheater, like you cheated, and so. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just desserts, and I think the Astros fans deserve all the hate they get. And they cry. They're a bunch of crybabies. Like you go all over Twitter and they cry and they whine
and they didn't get any punishment either. Like they don't seem to grasp that they didn't get punishment for cheating. Like they were not punished at all. So
yeah,
I don't know. All right, so let's see. The Rays just added one here in the 5th, so it's 2-1. Who do you like in the World Series? Let's wrap it up with a little picks right here.
I'm gonna go with the Dodgers.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna go with the Dodgers. I'm gonna go with the Dodgers in 6.
Okay. I'm leaning Dodgers too. I'm okay with whoever wins. God, the Rays are so frustrating though. Like they will just I don't know. They're so frustrating to watch. They'll get 4 hits and score 4 runs and beat you 4-3 when you had 7 hits. And it's just like they're that team. I do think the Dodgers are they kind of woke up, they were down 3-1 against the Braves, and they kind of woke up and got, they're feeling like, oh yeah, we're the Dodgers, we're supposed to win this thing. Also, Mookie Betts is playing out of his mind right now in right field.
Oh, really?
My man is making catches left and right in the NLCS and this. So I will also go with the Dodgers in. Give me the Dodgers in 6, but I really wouldn't be surprised if it went 7.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
All right, I like that. All right, you got anything else? I think that's going to do it for this week, unless you got something. We're good? All right, it's good having you back.
Well, no, never mind. It's not going to come out tonight. I was like, check us out on Twitch tonight.
No,
but
this will not be on tonight. We might be on Wednesday. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, all right, I think that's going to
thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Always. And hopefully our teams are a little bit better the next week. Hey, I got the Vikings and Aggies on a bye this week, so I can relax a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, you want to get that blood pressure down.
Just take a nice weekend off of just fantasy we're in. But again, we'll see you all next week.